weight isn't everything. Weight isn't everything.
But it's 90 pounds. But it's something.
Yeah,
Right.
it's something. It's like,
not everything, but it's something.
Yeah.
What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So we are now just 2 days out from the mighty Prague Pro, which is turning out to be the most exciting show of this year in that post-Olympia tour. Now, it's very interesting that two of the biggest bodybuilding podcasts and their latest episode dropped yesterday, Fawaz's Bro Chat and Dennis James's Menace podcast. And obviously, Prague was the biggest talking point of their discussion in their respective episode. But the opinion on both these platforms, they were widely different. So Ian and Fawad, they were in total agreement that this is gonna be Samson Dauda versus Martin showdown. And Samson Dauda has so much size over Keone Pearson that there is no way Keone stands a chance here in this show in 2 days' time.
I think when you see Keone on Instagram,
Right.
he's the same size as Samson.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, these two guys are the same size. But I'm like, they're not. You know, one guy's 215 pounds, the other guy's 300 fucking pounds.
Right.
Yeah.
And yes, to those people that make the argument that weight isn't everything, weight isn't everything.
But it's
90 pounds.
But it's something.
Yeah,
Right.
it's something. It's like,
not everything, but it's something.
Yeah.
And if we strictly talk about the weight, they are actually right. Samson is planning to come in above 300 pounds on the stage. So he's gonna be literally 80 to 90 pounds heavier than Keone Pearson. And there is zero exaggeration in that number. Because if Samson really shows up that big, the way he did for the Arnold Ohio earlier this year, or for the Olympia last year, he will literally be this heavier than Keone.
I mean, I pretty much, at this point, I think it's pretty much clear that I'm a genuine 300-pound bodybuilder on stage. There is no, 290, 280, no. If I'm under 300 pounds on stage, I don't look good.
Before you scroll or blink too hard, have you subscribed yet? Please don't make me bring out the emotional blackmail. Hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell icon. It's free, it's painless, and that makes me look way cooler than I actually am. But will that 20 pounds of difference in the weight reveal itself in the form of just height or overall muscle mass too? And a lot more space on the stage that we are used to seeing from Samson Dauda, apart from this year's Olympia.
You know, he might be 85, 90 pounds lighter than Samson, but I guarantee you he's not going to look 90 pounds lighter than Samson. He might look 30 pounds lighter. Samson's going to look 90 pounds taller. That's definitely there. But compare size, we can't do it unless you stand next to each other. And I saw him stand next. Yeah, you can obviously see Samson is much bigger.
And that we all know is a very solid question. And we can speculate all we want. We will only get the answer once they step on that same stage, under the same lighting, and get compared. Now, the guys on the Menace podcast, they have a totally different view. All of them agreed that the show is gonna be between Samson Dauda and Keone Pearson. And except for Milos Sarcev, they all agreed that this is gonna be a lot closer than people are expecting it to be.
You think he's going to deliver it?
I think so.
So I have to remind everyone of the fact that all of these retired IFBB pros who come on this podcast, Jose Raymond was the only one who picked Derek Lunsford to win the Olympia title this year. In the same discussion, the people had Derek as low as 5th. And now Jose seems super confident that Keone Pearson is gonna shock the bodybuilding world this weekend in Prague. And he has this opinion that he's gonna beat the former Olympia champion Samson Dauda. Now he isn't stating this based on any physique update that he has seen from Keone in the last few days. This is based on the genetic gifts that kind of shape the aesthetics that Keone Pearson has, and the fact that Samson trying to come in about 20 pounds heavier compared to what he brought at the Olympia this year. That could also be a big factor in him losing some of that condition. And historically speaking, Samson has never been the most crispy, the most shredded looking guy on the stage, or the most conditioned guy ever.
I think Keone's winning.
Now, on the flip side, I do see the perspective of the fans too, who think that Keone Pearson, he's getting overhyped a bit too much, especially for his men's open debut, even though he did struggle against Sean Carrida at the prejudging of the 212 Olympia 2 weeks back. And we saw how Sean struggled to even beat a guy like Regan, who placed 14th at the Olympia this year. And I see people talk and point out more and more towards Keone's midsection, which wasn't perfect by any mean at the Olympia this year. Now we all follow and listen to these bodybuilding discussions, and they all know bodybuilding, but their opinions, they are completely opposite, and they can be very different, and sometimes very wrong too. And that is the case going into this year's Prague Pro. They are total opposite.
It's like those tools become a little less valuable against those guys. You know, do I think that he still, in certain shots, has a nicer X frame than some of them? Yeah, maybe, sure. But do I think that it's enough to overcome the muscularity and potentially conditioning when in cases like Martin? I don't know. You know?
So to be very precise, Dennis James and Milos, they have Samson Dauda winning Prague. But Jose Raymond and Flex Wheeler, they had Keone winning. But they all seem to agree on one thing, that one of the most conditioned guy on the stage, Martin Fitzwater, he will be third. So Martin once again finds himself as the underdog, although he is the defending Prague Pro champion. And he's gonna have to prove to everyone one more time how good this guy really is. So Fuad and Ian and Paul, they all have Samson Dauda convincingly winning Prague Pro this year. And I know some people would say that the Hosstile team, they're supposed to say that. But truthfully, Samson Dauda is an Arnold champion, an Olympia champion, and he just had one bad showing. And people are willing to write him off. The fact is, on paper, he's supposed to dominate this show. So let me know what you guys think. Is this gonna be a Samson versus Keone or Samson versus Martin showdown for first and second place? Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. The 3 times men's physique Olympia champion Ryan Terry was spotted training with the closest possible physique to the legendary flex wheeler today, Andrew Jagged. So Andrew is also sitting a little over 2 weeks out from this year's Romania Pro, and surely the man is gonna win that show, but he has a very high standard to live up to. That was set by himself at this past Mr. Olympia, which convinced a huge percentage of the bodybuilding fans and the community to make an argument for him winning the Olympia even this year. So Andrew could not have shown up any better at the Olympia this year, and for whatever reason, his peak is never the same as he goes into successive shows, and he just never seemed to peak right, one show after the other one. And that is something they have to prove this time around, that he can do that. His physique regressing so much from the Arnold Ohio to FIBA Germany earlier this year, that was a prime example of that. And we saw so many times, from Texas Pro to the Olympia, he came in looking a bit underwhelming for the Olympia every single time. But the people in his camp, they also claimed that originally he wasn't planning on doing FIBA Germany, and that was the reason he was off for that show this year. Now we can all agree that the era of Andrew Jagged, that is gonna start very soon, especially if he continues to get better at this pace, regardless of his age. So will someone step up and do Romania Pro, knowing that Andrew is 100% focused on bringing his A game to that show? So the dream matchup that will be between him and Samson Dauda. But kind of seems like at this point, that isn't gonna happen. So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video, and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.